Do you ever wonder what sleeping position is the best or worst?
Well, according to the Mayo Clinic, you're going to find many different ways to sleep, and they narrowed it down to what's going to help you the best get the best night's sleep.
And there are three main sleeping positions: laying on your back, your side, or your stomach. So we're going to talk about advantages and disadvantages of each position.
That's right, and we're going to show you nice little tips on how these positions can be more comfortable by the way we've been showing you over the years, and this is how we sleep ourselves.
And I'm ready for bed.
You look ready for bed. So as we stated, everyone has their own favorite preferences on how to sleep. However, many people think that sleeping on your back is the best way to sleep because it takes pressure off the joints. And we'll show you details in that in just a little bit. However, Mike, what does Mayo tell us?
According to Mayo Clinic, sleeping on your back is problematic if you're a person that suffers from sleep apnea. Do you want to explain why this is, Brad?
Well, it has to do with the position and gravity with your tongue and in your throat. It actually blocks the airways, promotes snoring, and that causes less oxygen to get into your system. Therefore, the sleep apnea machines, the CPAPs, take care of that problem, is my understanding.
Now, we realize that some people, that's the only way they can really fall asleep is on their back, so we're going to get into showing a proper positioning way that may help you sleep better and not have any negative issues.
Yep, let's go at it. All right, for those of you who really like to sleep on your back, and that's the way you're going to start, and I actually am one of those. I always start on my back. It's most comfortable. We're going to show you some nice tricks and tips to make sure everything goes well. Mike, go ahead.
So for the first thing, you want to make sure you don't have too many pillows or too thick of a pillow. As you can see right now, my head is actually kind of flexed down in my neck. It's going to put pressure on it. I'm going to wake up with a neck ache. So make sure you just have one pillow or a flatter pillow and your neck is more in a neutral position like it is now. It's going to be much more comfortable to wake up. Now, another good thing is to put maybe a pillow underneath your knees, or you can use a leg wedge if you happen to have one, like Brad is showing there. Now, this is just going to take some stress off the knees. Obviously, if you're in a locked out position all night, you can get little aches and pains in your legs. This prevents that, and it also relieves a little tension in your back, keeping in a slight flex position. Now, if you have shoulder pain, say, and you like sleeping on your back, you could take a pillow and position it under your arm, supporting the entire arm the whole night. It'll open up that shoulder joint and take some pressure off there. You could even do both sides, I guess, if you have shoulder pain on both sides. So you're going to be a big pillow person when you sleep.
Absolutely. I agree. I've had experience this myself. I use this if I have a backache, and usually a couple hours into the night, I simply kick it off the bed and go like this. We realize you don't sleep in one position. Most people don't all night long. So these are nice tips and tricks to know as things go on. Okay, let's talk about prone or lying on your stomach. Now, this is a position that Bob and I have talked about over the years, and usually we say try to avoid this. You can do it, but the key is to try to keep your spine in a neutral alignment so there's less stress throughout the spine. To start out with this, here we have the spine. If you're lying on your stomach and you have two pillows like Mike has, can you pull your arm out of there, Mike? Now, if you look at his neck, it's actually extended up this way, and we don't want to have that kind of sustained end range posture with sleeping. So two pillows with that is not good. There's variations on this, of course. The other thing is when you sleep on your stomach, oftentimes people put their head like Mike is, looking to his right. So if you look at the spine, it twists one way, puts that end range. All the facet joints in the spine are locked up and jammed. That can cause pain if you're that way for long periods of time. So ideally, you would want to rotate your head right and left every 20 minutes or so. Hopefully in your sleep, your body reminds you to do that. As far as the low back, the next big thing is there's an arch in the lumbar spine. That's normal, but it can be overly arched, too much arch, and then the back gets like this, and that also can jam the facet joints, the little joints between each vertebra. But people sleep on their stomach and are very happy to sleep that way. Mike is one of them. Talk about how you sleep without any pain when you wake up.
So this position right now is very uncomfortable for me. So typically when I wake up on my stomach, I oftentimes have a throw pillow on the side my head is turned to. It kind of supports my head a little bit. And you can see my right leg on this side is actually propped up. So it's not like I'm sleeping straight on my stomach like this. I'm actually kind of on my side and my stomach at the same time. This will help limit the amount of neck rotation I have to one side if I'm positioned more like this, and it just makes it a little more comfortable for me personally. Now, if you're having some back pain with this, a good thing you can do is actually put a pillow, a larger pillow, underneath your pelvis here. So you just kind of go mid-body where your trunk is, lay down like this, and then you can get a little bit of support there and get some more neutral spine and less arch.
And that might be a little too low for some people. Like it's actually under his thighs. Can you lift up? Some people might find it, get it under the belly, right under the lumbar area. And I think especially if those people, you probably want to have just one pillow to keep that neck in a neutral spine. You'll know it's a position you should feel very comfortable lying there for a period of time and not feeling like you have to move because of discomfort or pain. Your body's telling you if it hurts after you're there 5 or 10 minutes or you fall asleep prior to that and you're going to sleep there for a few hours, that's when you're going to create some pain. There's those sustained, uncomfortable positions that you don't really realize at night until you wake up in pain.
Yes.
And so, Mike, you sleep like this regularly.
I do. And
Okay.
sometimes my neck's a little stiff in the morning. But when I was a baby, this is the way they put him to sleep. So I guess it's a habit.
So blame it on your parents.
Yep.
All right. Now, according to the Mayo Clinic, Dr. Summers has a whole host of evidence showing that side sleeping is actually the best for you in regards to digestive situations and information like that. Now, there are problems with side sleeping. I cannot side sleep very long because I get shoulder pain, I get knee pain, and I think a lot of people will. But there are easy options to take care of it. We're going to go through them right now. Like right now, Mike's shoulder might be uncomfortable because the shoulder joint is being jammed. What were you going to say, Mike?
I was going to say, yeah, the first thing we're going to look at is the head and neck and shoulder area here. Right now, my shoulder has to rotate out. If I was directly on my shoulder, this would be very uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
So what you want to do oftentimes is get another pillow first for your head, because oftentimes with your shoulders like this, you want 2 pillows in here, take some pressure off that, and I can lay a little more normal. I never lay directly on my shoulder.
Right.
It's just not how I side sleep. I typically am slightly angled here.
Let's show the trick if you actually pull that out like that. But then that kind of twists your back, but it takes pressure off the shoulder. It's kind of a give and take situation. So the next thing is Bob's famous canal sleeping, where we form a canal for the shoulder.
So you can do that with a pillow. So you're going to put it between basically where your shoulder would rest here. It's going to be on your rib cage. So now you can have a nice canal in here if you're comfortable sleeping like this. I, like many people, toss and turn, so I can't lay like this very long, but Bob finds it very beneficial.
And you can use a throw pillow. I think Bob uses a throw pillow instead of a larger one. But either way, you do it, works for you. So obviously, you're going to need a lot of pillows if you're a side sleeper and you're not comfortable.
Now, if your shoulder is problematic on the side that is facing the ceiling, you can get a pillow. Typically, you want a large pillow, not a short one like this. And you can prop it up like here and get it good support, opening up that shoulder, relaxing it. This is most optimal if you have shoulder pain and sleeping on your side.
Right.
Now, this isn't the only positions to look at. Say you're having hip or knee pain while you're sleeping on your side. A simple solution is a pillow. This can help with the knee. If you feel like your ankles are rubbing too much, you can get a longer pillow, position it in there. You want to get a nice neutral position. Oftentimes when you're like this, it's putting some strain on the outside of your hip and outside of your knee. This nice neutral position will prevent that from happening.
There you go. So that pretty much covers you head to toe for side sleeping. If you have some discomfort in some of the areas, I was using a hotel this weekend, and I knew as soon as I touched the bed, I wasn't going to be comfortable. Luckily, they had lots of pillows on the bed. I slept much better as a result of doing tricks just like this. So it can work all over the place, keeping you happy. But we got one more position to cover, right? Oh, so hold on. All right, now we also do want to cover for side sleepers. What's better, sleeping on your right side or your left side, or does it matter at all? And yes, we do want to look at what the Mayo Clinic says the doctors there. Mike, can you cover it a little bit for me?
They suggest sleeping on the left side is optimal because the right side you have more internal organs, which can get compressed and lead to not as good as blood flow when you're sleeping. However, we realize if you have aches or pains sleeping on one side, you're going to sleep on which side feels the best.
Right. You know, and I think the other thing they mentioned about circulation in the trunk, which is important. But go for your left. If you can't sleep on your left, go to the right.
Yes, pick what makes you happy and fall asleep.
I know I sleep where I want to, mostly on my back and then my right side, and then I have to go back to my back because it makes my back feel better, and it's a personal thing.
You said back a lot.
Yeah, just go back to that.